This is the mouse. This is the Zathura speedrun tutorial. New Game Plus / any%. I will not be using a script here. Just going through everything. Sorry. And now the first thing I should mention is that when doing either a New Game Plus or any% run, any category, full game, you want to turn off the autosave feature in options, and then general, and then just turn autosave off. Pretty much at every load screen, the autosave message won't pop up, and you can save time by doing that. And so, sorry, going to go backwards here, and so you can access it from in-game, the options menu, or alternatively right here you can go in the options bar here, and then general. Sorry. Okay, so okay. To start off, just going to wait for this reset here. I'm going to be doing commentary on this 4455 PB I got recently, NG+. Sorry, so to start off, for NG+, as opposed to any%, you get to start off with this maximum health bar here. Pretty much in NG+, in advance, we can pick up many of these Z collectibles here, you can see. And, sorry, in-game the counter right now, you can see is at 00, but for every 50 collectible you pick up, the health bar increases by 1 increment in size. And so we can do this maybe up to 3 or 4, maybe 4 times per character. And so you can, and there are 3 characters, so you can think, 50 times 4 times 3, big number. And so, yeah, NG Plus, pretty much the only difference, maybe the only difference is that this health bar is bigger. You're able to do strats easier because you don't have a worry of health. And so, yes, just going to continue. So, the run starts both on NG Plus and any% once you begin the first level. And so, first thing here, I skipped this cutscene. So, cutscenes in this game, they can all be skipped. And to skip a cutscene, I actually kind of surprising that it took me so long to realize, but you can press any button on the controller to skip a cutscene, except for the D-pad. So the D-pad does not work, and also clicking on the thumbsticks. So any other button will skip a cutscene. So I often do that. Just press a bunch of random buttons to try and get efficient mashing. And so you reach this load screen. One important thing to remember throughout the game is that buffering a movement direction, so a left stick analog movement, should only be done on the one idle screen before, right before you gain movement. So that is to say that, sorry, using this one player. So if I were to buffer a direction on this cutscene, and then continue to hold that direction throughout this load screen, when I enter the game here and actually gain movement, gain control, I would be in this state of not being able to move until I returned the left analog to the neutral position, then I'll be able to move again. And so to avoid doing that, the only time you can buffer a movement is the screen right before you gain control. So, of course, you could, like, you could do whatever input you want here. But as long as during this screen, the one before you get active control, you set the stick to neutral, then you can buffer again, then you should be safe. You will be safe. Now, finally getting to the game. This first strat here, this first room in the basement, to explain the story a little bit, Danny was kind of playing with his brother. Their parents had just left home, and Danny threw a baseball threw a baseball at his brother Walter because he wouldn't make him macaroni and cheese. And so Walter got upset and then sent him in an old elevator, which put him down in the basement. And then what Danny is meant to do here in this part of the game is discover the Zathura game board and then show it to Walter, and then that's how the story starts. But we can actually skip grabbing the game board entirely. And so one of these strats here is to go on this box, bounce on the floor, and then land up here. You can skip through the corner in this room, go into this room, and once again skip the cutscene of grabbing the game board and just continue to the stairs. In this run instead, because that double bounce strat, is not really the most consistent, I changed it up and I did this alternate strat where I go straight here and do an L clip coming up. So often you will get this message that pops up if you do this straight route. It's kind of one of the downsides. There is a chance maybe that you can kind of avoid this message. Sorry to steal some terminology from JSRF, but I've done it like once or twice before, and a theory is maybe I'm like pickling through the trigger for this message, or it's like some glitch where you can avoid it. But yeah, I usually expect this message pretty much. I'm going to backtrack once more, sorry. So I realized I forgot to explain something else. Jumping with this character, Danny, is fast everywhere, and you want to do it as much as you can. It's just a little bit faster. So yeah, let's just continue on with this route. There's another strat, but it's not really that important. Just get this message, keep jumping. And so, yeah, I jump here. And so I land on this pipe, kind of jump. And now, we start the first L clip. So this is the glitch you need in order for this route method to work. And so pretty much how the L clip works, you face, you look into this room, face your back to the wall, and try and be parallel with it. And then hold LT, the left trigger, to lock on straight, and then you can strafe backwards into the space between this box and the wall behind you, and kind of maybe shimmy a bit either to the left or the right, and you should eventually clip through the wall like that. Then you can continue, and the trigger for the stairs is up here. So now, you can kind of spam A, going through that cutscene and jumping out of the stairs here. And you can kind of maybe get this buffered jump around. And I kind of corner around here. And yeah, keep jumping. get this kind of jump off these boxes. And now the trigger here for this next cutscene, it could happen like here, maybe even before from where I jumped here, or it could happen deep into this room, like here. Kind of random, but triggered there for me. We have these cutscenes, once again, mashing with any button. And now the next objective is to pick up, sorry, I'll show you this frame advance, this pet hamster or rat, sorry, I'm not really sure, that got out of the cage here, and so there's a circle around it. And so there are times like this, what happened in my round, where the AI will just not really work, and it'll stand still here, so you can easily pick it up. Then I picked it up and took a bit for me to realize, then I just realigned, and you want to go straight into the fireplace. And now there are times when this AI will actually function, believe it or not. And it will take, sorry, if you pressure it from the right here, so it's right here, if you go here, it will take this route around like this. And pretty much if you keep going straight here, you should be able to cut it off, not taking too tight of a line, because then it might just, you know, avoid you again. Of course, the outcome that I got in this run, where it stood still, is maybe the most efficient, the most favorable, sorry. But, yeah, you can pretty much just learn to deal with either one. So, back to the fireplace. Now we get control of Walter. Now, during these cutscenes, I'm mainly spamming A, and you'll see it's because once we get control, we want to jump immediately, and I'm kind of holding like downish, down right almost, here. This robot will almost always spawn and kind of like charge towards you. And so if you jump near instantly and we get out of the way, we can kind of get ahead of it. Because if it hits us and we stand still, it might just bonk us here. And for the fast route, luring the robot to the end, that might not be the best. And so here, I keep jumping, just so that the robot can maybe see you. And so you can see it boosts it once more. And so I do a turn here. Favorably, I would have wanted it to run into me and then stop. And then hopefully it could do another boost straight into the hallway. But it stopped there, and so I realized I had to kind of make it see me again. It's kind of fixed now, so I go back. I was hoping it would boost here, but it doesn't. So I look back, and then it starts boosting. So the way to get it to the robot to charge towards you is to get really close to it, like right up next to it, in front of it, and then start moving, and then eventually it should charge at you. And then pretty much it'll stop when it gets close to you, so the same action can happen again where it boosts. And then once the robot, I'm gonna go a bit further back. Once the robot pretty much gets past this line of the doorway, there's like a trigger here where if the robot gets close enough to this doorway, it will just trigger. So you can see its claws are here, it's about right there. Okay. And the level ends. And now once again, there's this load screen. There's also this cutscene here. So just like before, you have to be, if you want to buffer an input, it would have to be during this screen, and it could not be held from before, from the load screen. It would have to be this screen only. And now this level, Hello Robot Planet, I begin by buffering A, mashing to get a jump here. Keep jumping, and this box is important. So this inside of this box here will be the slingshot for Danny. And so it says press B or Y to kick, Y or B to kick. And so I usually use B. I'm not sure if there's really a difference, maybe just a few frames animation time difference. Oh well, it really does not matter because you can see I kick here. Sorry, I'm going to use frame advance. I kick, it breaks there, and then I cancel the animation about right here. Else I would not be able to move. I would be like soft locked in this animation, but I'm able to move here. And so that is called a kick cancel. I call it that. So pretty much if you press B, so attack B or Y, and then you press the right trigger, the action will still go through, but the animation will be cancelled. And so you can actually even do it so quickly that you can like get a jump out of this. That is why I stand on the box, because I could have gotten a jump out of the box. Anyways, sorry. Another alternate strat here is to go on to here, this ledge. This is actually indented here, and so you can stand on this, and from here you would fall onto this floor, bounce, and then go up here. And that is called the box skip. It can save 1.8 seconds at best, but I just did not do it here. So instead you break these boxes and then just go around. We do some rolls, and then we keep jumping straight line to here. And now, like before, we're going to do another L clip. So we facing straight into this room. Face our back towards this indent wall. And then we go between this box and the wall. We shimmy a bit. We're able to clip out of bounds. And one more thing is that this guide will be for the Xbox version only, original Xbox version only. Many of these clips, just like this one, does not work on the 360 backwards compatibility or the PS2 version. So, yeah. Now here we do our first hover. Oh man. Okay, so I tried to explain this before, but I'll try again. I don't think it was good. Sorry, so this hover. So what? Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to first explain how the hover works. So, what is the hover? Pretty much, if you're holding the left trigger and then moving in a direction, once you're doing that, if you press the A button, you will do this like a dodge movement. With this character, Danny, you cannot dodge forward. You can only dodge left, right, and backwards. And so I do a backwards hover here. Of course, you could do it left or right. I've just always done this backwards. And so the way the hover works, once you do that first action, so holding left trigger, moving in a direction, then pressing A, let's say for Danny, this example, we are holding the left trigger to lock on. Then we move backwards direction, and then we press A. Then that will do a dodge backwards. So we will jump backwards. And you're pretty much strafing. So you'll go in a straight line, straight direction when you do that. And now, if you are to press X by throwing a projectile, in this example we have Danny's infinite ammo slingshot. So pressing X like that cancels that dodging action, that jump back action. And so doing that does not diminish your height at all, for some reason. And so you can figure out that the hover is just doing that action over and over. So to recap, what we're going to do here is holding LT, get my line up. I start by jumping backwards. Then I press X to cancel that jumping backwards. And then I alternate once more. And we keep doing this over and over to float in the air like so. And so you can see that I'm losing a bit of height there. That is because humans cannot really alternate between A and X, like frame perfectly. I believe this is a 60 FPS game, maybe. So you'd have to be alternating for each frame. We can't really do that. So we do lose a bit of height. But yes, that is what a hover is. Once you master this, it is really broken. It feels like you can go anywhere you want, pretty much. And this is just one hover strat. There are, of course, there's a really insane hard one where you can hover like across the whole level and skip maybe a bit more, but it's risky, doesn't really save that much, and so I'm showing you this one. So we hover here. I kind of have to readjust. Could maybe have gotten a better angle than what I get here. But eventually you'll see that Danny jumps up. So I'm a bit low, and then you can see here this jump up where I hit the invisible platform, so it's about a straight line here. You can see, yeah, around there. And so, it pretty much, sorry, I'm going to say that this route makes no sense if you've never played the full level normally before. This route makes no sense. But anyways, what we're going to do here now is face parallel to this wall, and I'm able to tell here because this mesh texture on the wall, it looks flat, sorry. So it's not really clipping into the camera diagonal or anything. It seems pretty flat. And so I start hovering to the right here, facing into the void, facing my back towards the room. And now I keep hovering to the right until I see this texture come into view, pretty much. Once I do, I transition my hover to backwards. Yes, you can switch hovers midair. And it might take a bit to learn, to get the hang of it, but once you do, once again, you can feel like invincible. You can go anywhere in the level. So now we land on this platform. Now if I explained why this platform, why this room exists, this might turn into an hour-long video about why, you know, this game wasn't tested and why the developers were lazy, but whatever. This room exists, we can jump through the walls. Walter is right here. Well, we don't see him, he's off screen. Keep jumping, and then this is the last one. So there are 3 of these rooms in a row. Now I try to align, once again, straight here, straight lines. Kind of a common theme when hovering, because you can hover only in straight lines, pretty much, and so you want to do this to be efficient. And now I begin this hover, kind of go a bit to the right. Oh well, you know, I wouldn't say that there's like one exact perfect setup for this, because you might lose some hover height along the way. But I do this kind of straight, kind of a bit to the right diagonal. Oh well. This is what you want to aim for. So, the hover starts. We only hover backwards straight. And now eventually we will lock on to this thing. This is a relatively new route, but I believe this is a box somewhere. And pretty much I've had success 100% of the time. I would say that I lock onto this item, this object. Now eventually, we will reach this lava room. Yeah, this is a huge room, maybe one of the most annoying in Zathura. And so once we reach in here, you want to start hovering to the left again. And now gonna backtrack a bit there. Sorry. So, I would say the easiest way to continue from here is either to fall in the lava to get the respawn, which will respawn you here. And in order to do that, you would have to fall in a section of the lava that is right under this doorway. So here. If you fall here, it will respawn you to like the beginning of the level, because we have not, because the route we took with all the hovers pretty much avoided most of the, if not all of the, safety respawn triggers. And so if we fell into the lava here, it would put us all the way back. But here, as we can enter a respawn trigger. Instead, what I do is a bit more, might take a bit more skill. I jump out of the hover. Yes, you can also do that too. Can you believe it? The hover is so overpowered. So, how can you jump out of the hover? Well, it's not so easy. To jump out of the hover, your left analog has to be in a neutral position, and you must not be in the dodging, like the roll section of the hover. So that is to say that your last action in the hover must have been X to cancel the roll. And so therefore, according to the game, you're still able to jump, I think. And yes, your analog has to be neutral. That's just how it is. Because you were holding LT rolling, and so if your left analog was to be held in a direction, you would roll in that direction, as opposed to jumping and actually gaining height and getting free movement. And now, I kind of just thought that this was a hover-only ability, but kind of recently I realized that this game allows you to jump in the air if a jump has not yet occurred. And that means that, let's say I was on this ledge, just normal, I fall off, just walk off, and of course I haven't jumped yet, but I can jump any time in the air. So I can just walk off and then jump here, and then, yeah. So yeah, you can jump as long as you haven't jumped already. So jump out of the hover. It takes a bit of practice to learn how to do it, seriously. and I did this ledge grab. You can get a better hover and avoid this ledge grab. That would be the fastest, but you can either fall into the lava, ledge grab, or no ledge grab. Anyways, we're here. Now, this camera is permanent. You can't... This camera's stuck like this. It's annoying, yes, but whatever. And so, I jump up here. You can avoid this ledge grab as well. And a shortcut here. I hover to the left, and then once again jump out of the hover onto here. That is pretty much required. If you don't want to jump out of the hover, you'd have to do some serious, like, maybe like near perfect angle. It's very hard, and then like task mashing, which is insane, but I recommend learning how to jump out of the hover just for that, because here you can fall, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I move a bit, jump to avoid this ledge grab, and then with this 2D camera, this, I would say it takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of experience to learn how, you know, how your character is situated within this 2D camera, the rotation. And so I often mess it up sometimes. I kind of, like here, I would say I was running into the wall, but it can kind of like slide along it. And so I jump to the hover, and then you can land here. If you were not to do this hover, you would have to go all the way around in a circle and then go here. Annoying. Now we go here. One of the theoretical strats, I'm just going to mention it, why not, is that the next section, the ending, is right through this door. And we're right here. It's just that much of an elevation. Of course, I don't believe that there's a way to, you know, just grab it from there. But there are some theoretical ways, maybe. Maybe you could, like, fall from here, bounce on this, and then grab it. It still seems like a ton of height, but I don't know. Maybe bounce off of this, I don't know. Yeah, but so far it hasn't been figured out. So we take this one, ignore that room, we go in this, and now here's the second hover across this. My angle here was not very good. You want to be facing a bit more rotated to the clockwise. But nonetheless, I do this anyways. You can see I kind of start running into the wall here, and so I try to hover backwards and then do some zigzag straight hover movements to maybe try and fix it. Sorry. And so I jump out of it there, which is kind of risky, but still I was able to get this ledge grab on here. I'm able to go in there. And then once again, what we are skipping is having to go around in a circle to make it here. And yes, I have gotten runs before where you can avoid this ledge grab just with a better angle, and it's so clean if you can jump out of it and land straight on here. Straight into the room, it's nice. Anyways, this is fine, I would say. Jump in here, these lasers will never hit you. Press this teleporter. Now we're here. Those guys will not hit you if you go straight. It will spawn maybe one, maybe two more here. And so I usually bounce off of this box and up to here. Onto this ledge here. Now, if you miss that bounce, or if you miss landing on the ledge or something, the alternate one is to go on this light thing. You can kind of stand here, and then bounce off the floor, and then go up. Anyways, do this. Sometimes you can avoid the roll here and you can just jump through. And now this jump, there's like a hole on the floor here. Yeah. Alright, now coming up is a huge skip. It's kind of miraculous that it even works, really. And sorry, I know I'm talking a lot just for this one level. It's the second level, but still, this might be one of the most tech-heavy, might have the most strategies in the game for this one level. So this next room, we are out of bounds, and this room in here, this huge room is meant to be a fight room. They just pretty much what bad game developers do to make a game quote unquote hard. They just throw a ton of enemies at you and claim it to be hard. But it's just annoying. But it looks like the door to here, because this is the door to the exit, is unloaded. But it is actually loaded. We can't see it because we aren't in the room yet. And so here, so I kind of do this camera. So I'm going to go back a little bit. So you'll see I move the camera a lot and then start moving like down. And pretty much that is to make sure that we can see. So with this camera angle and this movement down, we can keep the visuals from going like just into a blackout. And so we can actually see stuff on screen, and also we can be careful not to clip back in here. And so we walk around this, try to go like a bit, once you approach this, you would want to go like this, because there is some invisible like wall here maybe. And so this next part, it's coming up, kind of needs some explanation. Sorry, you can see here, for a split second everything goes black, and then we're back. And you can see now things are loaded in, the door is loaded in, because we are technically in there, but I'm going to explain that in a second. Sorry, just a second. So I'm going to go back now. So the reason why we are about to do what we're going to do is because there is a textured out of bounds floor here, but it pretty much ends, I would say, like, sorry, you see this line? If you keep this line going past here, pretty much here, it stops, and then this, like, all just not textured at all. And so, sorry, this entire room skip had been theorized for such a long time, and I couldn't figure it out for the longest time because of this floor not being textured. And so I was puzzled at how I was going to go or get around it. And there was even another obstacle later on, but I'll explain that later. So what I do is I actually stand on the floor in bounds, but you are also halfway out of bounds. And so you can see here, literally, I'm able to walk on this floor seam because there's no texture here. So walk on this floor seam, jump across, while still staying out of bounds on this side. So we're still out of bounds, but we're able to walk on the floor. So that was the workaround here. And now this pillar here, this thing that goes around like this, it extends out twice, I would say like here, maybe here. And this entire floor, everything here, is not textured. The only part that is textured is the out of bounds on this side of the wall. So like on this side of the wall, right here. This is textured. And so the way to get around this, what I'm going to do is kind of give it away there. Lock on facing straight into this room. I lock onto this box, kind of, you can stay straight. Might have to readjust, maybe step it to the left or right or something, whatever you need. But, yeah, so back to the wall and parallel. And now this is kind of one of the hardest hover movements in the game. We are going to start by hovering backwards. And now a little bit into it. There isn't really like a visual cue or anything, sorry. This is mostly by feel. Right here, sorry, on this frame right here, I start hovering to the left. So transition the hover to the left. Because we made it past the wall, invisible wall. And now, pretty much once things become invisible about, we jump out of the hover and we go straight again. And then what we just did is we did like a small circle in 3 segments. So backwards, left, and forward, jump. Of course, we cannot hover forward, so we have to jump out of it and then keep going forward. I would say this is a pretty tight movement, pretty tight trick, and yeah, would definitely take some practice. But yeah, see it over here, backwards, left, forward, jump, and there. And now this floor, I would stay along this straight line. I wouldn't go like here. I would say like this like is a no zone, so you can go here, you can go here, but stay relatively safe. And then I turn, and I would say like around when you get to here, it's kind of safer. So I kind of take a straight line, and this is the ending trigger. And that's the end of the level. Whew, okay. Hopefully I'm going to try not to pause as much. Sorry, now we get control of Walter again. And of course, you want to fix the thumbstick, remember? To only be buffering on this screen, not the previous cutscene screen, so that you don't get stuck. And yes, so with Walter, no jumping. Sorry, jumping is slow. So, starting off with out of bounds. This is one of the, maybe one of the first out of bounds I ever found, seriously. Usually you would have to, the intended way is to press this button, and then in this room, this cage, there would be a wrench you would grab, but actually in the route we don't grab it at all, not at all. Exeter. Okay, so this out of bounds here, so pretty much this and this, there's a space in between. And you want to go straight diagonal into here. You walk through, and you're out of bounds. There's nothing special, you just walk out of bounds. And this level is kind of notorious for having some other free ones like that. So yeah, we walk out of bounds. Walk a bit straight. You don't want to do this turn to the right, sorry, to the left into this room immediately, just maybe a bit after. Might take some practice, or some getting used to, and then walk straight into here. I move a bit to the right, because once you get into this room, you can see the camera and the wall kind of pushes you a bit, maybe to the left. Sorry. So, sorry, I was here, so top of the head, it was right there, and now top of the head is right here, so from there to there. So, I go here, this is this route. On this ledge we bounce. we land on here, and then we jump out of bounds once more. And so here, you want to take that route. I was a bit safe there. But you generally want to follow the route that I do, so I go a bit straight here. So I keep going straight, and then I turn the camera. So I would say that it's kind of hard to say here, but there's an invisible floor that extends, I would say, like here and then here, maybe. Like maybe here and here. So maybe I took it a bit safe. But the idea is you can easily fall like out of bounds here, for example. It's like this corner, out of bounds, texture. And so the line we want to take is straight into right here. So I kind of readjust eventually. And there you can see I'm straight to there. And now this setup, this might kind of look a bit strange, because this next room is here, and we're right here. Why don't we just walk across? Well, there's actually an invisible gap between the textured invisible floors that is about, I would say, like right here and here, there and there. And we are just able to make it over, sorry. And this is kind of a reset, maybe a reset heavy point in the run. If there wasn't a setup here, like somewhat of a setup, the consistency might be like much worse, maybe. And so, yeah, the setup here, gonna go back. So pretty much this line, I line up here. You don't want to clip in here because there's like a notorious jail, you can't really get out. So pretty much you clip in here, your runs might be dead, or reset the level, restart the level. But if you go here, that's what you want to do. See, I do that, I line up the camera so that, once again, this is familiar where you're parallel here, pretty much flat and straight. And I kind of stand still, and then eventually I start holding down. It seems to be like one of the easiest setups I've come up with. There isn't really like a, once again, there isn't really a visual cue or anything, but I walk for a bit of time, then I jump. And you can see here I start falling, but then here I bounce back up. Sorry, so I'm like fall and then go back up. So this is me landing on the platform right here. So yeah, we jump over that invisible gap and we made it. So yeah, that might take a bit of getting used to. Once again, practice. Just get a feel for it. It's literally an invisible gap. You're guessing, kind of, but with this setup, I would say it is definitely more free. You could totally, like, just YOLO it and go straight here, and guess the exact time you need to jump, like straight here, and then just like say, oh, okay, I'm gonna jump now, make it over the gap, and then keep going. Totally. But I like to do this setup. Give myself some consistency. And then, yeah, you want to just keep going this way. Avoid clipping in walls. Ignore the button. And now you want to, once you get past that, you want to take a straight line towards here. Now, once you pretty much get past this invisible wall, this invisible texture, this metal gold texture, you want to make it past. You can walk a bit on the floor and then pretty much jump into the right. jump to the right, and we're back in here. So we're back in bounds, yeah! And now we jump on this box, and this one, jump again, and we're out of bounds. Stay in, and then bit to the right, and we're back in. And now this this laser cross thing, you can avoid it. I do here by going a bit like near perfectly straight. It's kind of weird, but yeah. And even if you do hit it, it's fine. You can just walk through. Just a bit of a slowdown getting shocked. And so, the entire reason for traversing this far into the level is to grab these projectiles. This is, I think, the only known place where these projectiles can be picked up, do exist. And, actually, throughout this entire route through this level, we have been, oh nice, 420, we have been avoiding every single respawn trigger in the level. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick up at least one of the projectiles, end up picking up two. And now this is another free, absolutely free out of bounds. Unbelievable. That you literally just walk straight here. Sorry, there's this curved texture, and pretty much in the middle of it, you just walk straight into it, and you walk through. Nothing. Sorry, no special inputs. No funny stuff. Just straight up out of bounds. And walk a bit to the left because we fall into the void. And now, because we skipped, throughout our route throughout this level, we have avoided every respawn trigger, like perfectly. And so, when we respawn from the void, we respawn at the beginning respawn point. Now, this is kind of like the genius behind this route. It worked out so perfectly, it's unbelievable. From this respawn point, we do this out of bounds once again. So I'm just going to backtrack just to show you. Sorry, so one thing to explain, this level is always, it has been known for quite a while that this window, this thing up here, the ending of the level is behind this wall. Up here, so a bit of a height, and behind this. You literally just have to lure the robot into this reprogramming chamber, and the level will end. The level will end. And so we grab the projectiles, respawn, avoiding all of the respawn triggers. It puts us back here. And since we have these projectiles, we're able to go here, bounce, up here, and now line up straight. And we are going to hover straight. And pretty much once the screen goes black, once we can't see much, we jump out of the hover, or once we can see this lock on, we jump out of the hover. Move a bit to the left, and we are in that room. Now, what this does is it skips an entire QuickTime event section that was very long. And, yes. Pretty much if you've ever played this level legit, this section, this might be mind blow. So yeah, we lure the robot, try and get some good lures. And leading the robot might take a bit of skill, or getting used to. And that's the whole level. Okay, reprogrammed. This level used to be pretty casual and slow, because we used to take the intended route and go through here. Instead, I found this out of bounds, and an accompanying hover, which then became the longest hover in the game, about, or maybe like a bit less than 30 seconds when done correctly. So yes, you're going to do that hover section for 30 seconds here, unless you want to lose 30 seconds by taking the other route. So, sorry, I'm going to backtrack a bit here. Sorry, it was found that these boxes, if you do an L clip again, so facing your back towards these boxes, and then moving backwards into them at not perfectly straight, but maybe at a bit of an angle, and then shimmying a bit left to right, you can clip through this wall. It's a bit of a weird clip, sorry. But yeah, it works. So the thing is that there's actually a small space in between these two boxes. And what, the point is that we're trying to get the robot in between those boxes. And that is not why we clip through the wall. We clip through because once we go between those boxes, we are then able to reach the section between the boxes and the wall, and then we go out of bounds. Okay. So, first attempt, don't really have much success, so I readjust. And eventually, I'm going to frame advance here. See that there, it works. It's now between the boxes. Shimmying a bit, fully between them, and we're out of bounds. There we go. So now, you can do this this charge here, you don't have to. Okay, maybe I should explain that. Sorry, so an instant cancel of the charge, the boost, is as follows. So pretty much what I used to do is if you hold RT to boost and just don't do anything, the animation of like exiting the boost and returning to regular movement takes a bit of time, quite a bit of time, pretty slow. And so what I started doing is I started pressing B to do like a punch or attack, which cancels that animation at the end, but you still have to let the animation of the attack run out before you can return to moving. So, I found yet another animation cancel where now to get a instant stop of the boost, what you will do here is once you reach your destination, so I start by pressing B to attack, and then here on this frame here, sorry, you can see this blue purple cloud start. I tap the right trigger, and what that does is it doesn't start another charge boost, but it cancels the attack animation. So we cancel the boost animation with an attack, we cancel the attack animation with a boost just by tapping RT. Then we're able to regain movement again. Alright. So now this hover, once again, familiar stuff. This wall is flat. Sorry, this wall is flat. We line up facing straight, kind of. Oh, I messed up, I jumped there. Well, I should have readjusted there, but I was trying to go fast. Oh well. I end up paying for it. Anyways, the hover starts, I hover left here. You could hover backwards, you could hover right. It's up to you. Maybe I even might look into those other hover directions. But I started doing it this way. So yeah, hover left. And this is a long hover. This is the longest in the game. So feel the burn. Pretty much. Hover onto this object, maybe enemy. So yeah, my angle here was not very good. maybe you would have wanted to hover a bit backwards and then readjust lift at the start to get a better angle to not lock onto these random objects. Sorry, but the point is, once you see this texture, you've entered into this, this tunnel hole, and you fall down. That's a split. The gauntlet, long level, kind of boring. Anyways, we boost twice here. Of course, you do the instant movement cancel, and we do it again. There, sorry. There's another small thing I just saw I could explain. Why not? So here, I actually don't do the movement cancel instantly. There's a reason. You can see after, my preferable route here is just to go straight in order to like reach here, and then I'll start turning. So I can afford to keep going in a straight line here, even if it be in a soft lock for a small amount of time. So I actually let the animation continue for a little bit because it still gives me forward movement, and it is only like here that I do the movement cancel instant. And there. So yeah, it's preference. You can do it if you want. So this gauntlet is actually kind of bad. I miss a cycle. Pretty much you want to get some lucky hovers here. Or sorry, lucky boosts here where you boost forward through this hallway. But I don't know, I wasn't feeling it, I guess. I don't know. And this golden robot can be annoying sometimes, but he boosted there, and now he's no longer following me. You'll see what I mean by following me if you ever play the game and he gets attached to you. Just keeps boosting into you. Anyways. Sorry, I'm gonna skip ahead because I missed a cycle. So I boost, it's right here, and then I get grabbed and I miss the cycle, so that's a bit of a time loss. There is an alternate strat here which can save maybe like 15, maybe more seconds. But it's really hard. Maybe I'll provide a link to that video of the strat, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy. So I'm just waiting for the elevator here. Defeat this guy. And yeah, this out of bounds strat, I would say do this every time. Maybe the next step to my next PB could be using the new strat, but I wouldn't say that it's required at all. So, once again, parallel to the behind wall, facing straight, start hovering left. And I find this often happens where you'll lock on to some enemy or something, and then you start hovering left. Facing left towards here. And what you want to do is you want to get under the arch of this door. Now, once you're here, you want to jump out of the hover. And you're able to jump through this, land on this side of the room. And now, because we haven't really triggered this room, a lot of the enemies won't be completely loaded in or functional. And so some of the turrets or enemies won't be able to shoot at you or something. So we can go here. You can see like these guys here would normally be shooting lasers at you, but I kind of have a joke when it comes to these ones, because this can happen in many parts of the game where you can see their animation, they're trying to shoot at you. Like they're recoiling, but they're not able to shoot, so yeah, you could maybe kind of come up with your own jokes there. Maybe figure it out, but yeah, it's for another time. Some of these are functional though. They do work. So you can defeat those, kind of try and defeat those so they don't shoot at you in order to be able to, and these ones don't function, to boost here. Boost through those. You can kind of punch through enemies sometimes with a boost. And try and boost through this hallway. Get zapped there, oh well, try it again. That one's functional. And now this, what we used to do is we used to go press this button and then you could fall through. But instead, an untested game has out of bounds. Literally, there's a WTFT paw here, or maybe a WTFT path, where they forgot to put a floor. So you can just fall through. And yeah, man, sorry, this falling down tunnel section is literally not a threat. You'll never die as long as you just kind of safe. But I was gonna say, if you ever, if like JSRF is your main game, or if you start out speedrunning JSRF, it really hijacks a lot of your terminology, doesn't it? Like turning becomes cornering. You say WTFT paw a lot. And then a bunch of other things as well. Anyways, eventually you face backwards down and then it ends. Okay, Master Betrayed, the first boss battle. Holy crap, can this be troll? This segment in the run was clean, I would say. I believe maybe 2 or 3 seconds off my gold, which is kind of insane because my gold was set in 2019 and I've never beaten it since. Because it's like, I got like insane RNG. This is where mashing kind of truly comes into play. Sorry, I can't believe I kind of didn't explain this before. Sorry, the robot, the robot here that you're playing as, the laser is infinite, of course, just like Danny's slingshot. And to shoot, you press X. And pretty much you can shoot as fast as you can mash. There is an alternate shot where you hold X for a bit and then it shoots a charged shot. But I don't really use it that much, I don't think. I think mashing at a certain speed might obsolete that attack, maybe, in some instances. So yeah, here, the main strategy for this boss battle is to break both of the arms first, so that the extremely troll action that the robot can do, the Master Betrayed can do, no longer becomes an option, and then you might be a bit safer. So getting both of those arms destroyed first would be a good move, I would say. Okay, so, and yeah, there are the 2 arms, and then these 2 turrets, and then the head, and to be able to defeat this boss. So I start by shooting. Now this attack the robot does, this pink laser, is probably the tamest and the most favorable to you, because you can easily avoid it, as opposed to pretty much all the other attacks. So getting this pink laser would be like maybe the best RNG, like getting this over and over, because you can avoid it, and it doesn't really stun you for that long. So I start by shooting this arm. You can see it went right under the laser there. It's not even a threat, once again. And a pretty instant break there. And now I switch to this arm by tapping LT again. Oftentimes you can, if you're locking on to the wrong thing, maybe, you can switch between them by pressing LT over and over. Or you're holding LT and then you move the right stick to change targets. So I shoot this one, and now there's this laser attack, which is a lot harder to avoid getting hit. Gotta hit twice. And then pretty much I'm stunned here, and now the troll attack makes its first appearance. This attack, if you see this, you see the Master Betrayed shining blue, shining purple? This right here, just get ready, because the biggest time loss from this boss battle, you can avoid this actually. Didn't realize for a while you can avoid it. So if I were to jump, sorry, go back. If I were to jump like right here, maybe right here, I could maybe avoid getting grabbed. But I got grabbed by the ghoulies. And then pretty much you just have to press the spam B, tell you robot let's go. One of the most annoying things that can happen is that that attack can be chained over and over. I've gotten some extremely troll runs here, segments, where the run would just die at Master Betrayed because RNG was so bad. Get grabbed by an arm over and over. And I think maybe chain grabs are near impossible to avoid. Seriously. You just have to wait until it's over, or get like maybe like 1 or 2, I would estimate, like frame jump to avoid it. So that's why you want to break the arms first. So I go with this one, get another laser attack. That's looking very good. I think I got maybe 3 so far. So both the arms are broken, so no more risk of getting grabbed. So now I go for these ones. Good break there. And yeah, getting tons of pink laser attacks, very favorable. And now just the head here. This wind attack is pretty much impossible to avoid, and so you just want to move out of the way. And yeah, I would say that was very good, aside from the one arm grab. And then literally this part is just, you hold down and you walk straight down this hallway. You'll never get hit. As long as you don't stop, you'll never get hit. And if you ever played Star Wars, the complete saga, sorry, Lego Star Wars complete saga, this might look familiar. That's Master Betrayed. Now there's this cutscene segment. And now I kept the cutscene segments as splits on my splits.io. Sorry, on my live split here. Just because there is technically active gameplay. I made that decision when I first started running the game. And yeah, I've kept it ever since. I could merge it, I guess, with a split, but yeah. Oh well, might mess up my golds along the way, but oh well. Vaulto deserves 3. I start by breaking this, because it gives the best chance at getting projectiles. You want projectiles at the start, and I got them there. Sorry, that is another thing. Oh, I forgot to mention this in the escape. Let me go back. These pop-up messages. If you get them with Walter, there was one in the escape when you grab the projectiles, and there's also one here. With Walter, of course, jumping is slow. So if you were to press A, as it wants you to here, A for OK, that A press will actually be buffered into the game, and then Walter would jump most of the time, almost every time. And so you can actually close this dialog box, confirm it by pressing the start. And so that is what I do here, and in the escape I press start to avoid the jump and close the box. So, yeah, that first thing we broke, if that did not give us any projectiles, this did, then I would recommend breaking this one. If that doesn't give you any, then that would kind of suck. You can break this one. And of course this one and this one, yeah, I think you got the idea. But you want to break that early one, I would say, because otherwise there is a chance of you not getting any, but sorry, if you don't get any, one of the more real one of the more real things that can happen is that you miss the cycle. So you can see here, sorry, this geezer, elevator geezer landed just here, so I was a bit ahead. Is because I did the animation swing cancel. So you go here, I land onto this. Now from here we are going to hover, and of course Walter can hover straight. Hover straight here. And now there are some times when you can trigger an enemy to spawn up here early, just from the position here. So, and I'm not really sure. I would say just, I don't know, maybe keep your distance from this mountain rock. But I don't think I triggered here, so yeah. And then if you trigger that enemy, you might lock on a bit like weird here, and then it might mess up your hover. You have to fix it. It can be strange, but oh well. Anyways, the cycle to make is right here. See, the geezer comes up there, so that cycle you want to make. And I had a bit of time to spare there. So it's not hard, not incredibly hard. So jump up these, and now this level is meant to be much longer, but actually Nacodemics, my good friend, found this skip here, which was pretty funny when he finally found it. So this screen here, it says, looks like this geezer is jammed. Maybe there is another way. Well, no, we are going to do it anyways. So we are going to bounce from this geezer elevation. And of course I press start to close the box. Up to here. And once we're up here, turn the camera a bit, and yes, we're going to bounce from this elevation up there. This is kind of a weird one, because you can't really see much. But eventually, yeah, second try I got it here, land up here, and literally this is the end of the level. Cool. Let's fall to Source 3. Into the fire now. With Walter, just keep jumping. I take the left route. Yeah. I would say take the left route. I don't see a reason for taking the right route. There's a way you can go through here without taking damage at all. Pretty insane, but I think you're fine if you take some hits. And now I consider this to be like a really laggy section. Even like with the screen moving from all the enemies. So just try to be careful and try to I don't know, not play it too risky when you get to the edge here, because you can get super trolled. I've gotten trolled here, where you can actually see, so I jump quite late onto this turtle, and you can see this shot right here from the enemy, quite close. Oh my, almost hit me right there, Danny in the shot. And so if that hits you, you might fall into this lava. If you fall into the lava, you will respawn right here, right here. So it's this distance traveled that you will lose. So go on this turtle, and you're pretty much safe once you go this far. Now you want to jump on these other turtles kind of early. Seems pretty nice. And yeah, I would say follow the same route I do. And now this turtle in particular you want to jump on early, because this this turtle seems to go under the lava a bit early. So, or sorry, no, this turtle takes off a bit early. That is why. And yeah. And now here you can jump off a bit early, right? About like that. Keep jumping. Thankfully I got 10 projectiles here. And so I'm able to use them if I need to coming up. Oh, I got hit there, oh well. You can make that cycle you saw kind of tight, but yeah, you can maybe barely make that. And now to avoid getting trolled here, I turn around and then start firing at these enemies. Pretty safe. Make it up here. And that geezer wasn't up all the way, so I just wait. And then pretty much you just hope for good cycles here. It might be random every time depending on if you get hit or other factors. So I actually was able to jump off that one, pretty nice. And then this one seemed like it was like I could have made this. Maybe I could have jumped a bit earlier because I jump as it's going down there. I get this ledge grab. And there we go. Okay, Mr. Meltdown. Kind of a snooze fest, kind of. But Mr. Meltdown, at the start here, you want to go, there's a safe spot. You can go like a bit to the right side of this geezer right here. And within this like pocket here. And still firing at him, you can avoid getting hit by the fire. And so yeah, you just want to keep shooting. You saw here, I think this might be maybe RNG or luck based, depending on what drop you get, but there was an ice drop that dropped here. And of course, this shooting ice against this fire enemy should be more effective, and it is. So I picked that up. And normally the time loss or time gain on Mr. Meltdown is based on if you get that early ice drop, or if you like pick up all the ice drops that it gives you. And yeah, I don't completely fully understand how speed works in here, like how to get the ice drops, but yeah, I think this segment was decent, maybe lost like 5 seconds or so. So the route to remember for the geezers, because they do elevate in a set route, in a set pattern, sorry, and it is the same every time, so it is pretty much going to the middle. And yeah, you don't want to preemptively buffer shots. You want to wait till he's out of the lava. Sorry, till it's out of lava, and then you can shoot at Mr. Meltdown. So yeah, sorry, the pattern is middle, left, middle, and then he will grab you, he'll throw you back, and then it's right side. So middle left, middle right. You're shooting, and you can see, usually after every geezer drop, you will get another ice pickup. And so, yeah, you want to pick up everyone. It would be tragic if the position in which the drop falls is like into lava or something, and you have to go out of your way and you'd miss a cycle or whatever, but you, I think you can just adapt to the situation. So I'm moving to the left because it's left. And now once again, there's an ice, pick it up there. And And now middle once more. And another ice. So yeah, kind of a bit repetitive here. Maybe. And then, yeah, I kind of move a bit far to the right there to just to check if there are any bonus like ice drops maybe I missed or something. Sorry. So now this section, he picks you up. I don't believe it is possible to avoid. I think I have tried jumping and I believe he still grabs you, maybe. He picks you up and he tries to eat Danny. And so mash B. I'm not sure if like the faster you mash, the faster you get out, but I don't know. I try to mash fast there. It might be a maximum speed though. Anyways, he spits you back out. I would try and give the scientific name for what Danny was hitting, but yeah. Something in the throat. So yeah, we shoot at him, get him here, and defeat him there, right there. Now he starts this death animation. I have had earlier defeats where like this user, the right side user was maybe up in the air, but still. Okay, visitors is kind of like a cutscene, but you have a little bit of active gameplay right here. So once again, all these cutscenes, you don't want to be buffering one analog movement the entire time throughout them. You want to be, neutral and then holding it, buffering it only on this last cutscene. And you want to be buffering left, by the way. Left and then jumping. I think this route might be the fastest I've seen. And then back into the fireplace. That's it. Okay, now Mysterious Station. This is the first auto-scroller in the game. This one is... It kind of gives you a break, from all the mashing maybe. Or you can go make some food or do whatever you need to do. So I just go up here. Defeating the enemies doesn't really give you anything... Or sorry, any sort of a speed advantage or, cut the time down. I don't think. I've tried it, but yeah, this is a 2.5 minute auto-scroller. And yeah. Eventually it'll end. Now the 2 levels after this do have a lot more gameplay, I assure you. Finding a Way, another kind of tech-heavy, hard level. And so you want to defeat this first turret on the left. This is the space section of the game. Actually do this special way of doing it here. You move a bit forward in the lock-on and then diagonal. And I avoid getting hit just barely. You can go between these lasers. And these turrets, of course, take 4 shots each. And yeah, defeated. Press the button. And I was hoping that this turret on the right would shoot these boxes, and that, well, it did shoot some of the boxes, but I was hoping that the boxes it broke would have some energy shots in them. Now, once we're getting further into the late game, the type of projectiles kind of gets is more important because the enemies are kind of getting harder. And so, yeah, the energy shot is pretty much counts for 2 of the normal slingshot shots. And it's kind of... For this route, for this level, it's kind of only important for this enemy right here. So this enemy is a turret, but is a bit stronger. It takes 6 of these slingshot shots to defeat. And so if I had picked up the energy shots, it would have taken half that, so 3 shots. That's what I have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. Oh well. Okay, falling into there. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. Falling into here now, so I shoot this to break this thing, and it opens this trapdoor. And you can fall into here. If you fall in carefully, you can avoid getting a ledge grab on all these. If you do get a ledge grab, just press X and you should fall. But I did not. And then you can, it's kind of a weird angle, camera angle, but you can roll twice here to get under. I think this level used to be a huge health danger. So you used to break these boxes, but not anymore. Let's go up. Now, you don't want to press this button. You want to go on top of this button, and then try and bounce, get a big bounce above this door. So above this door, but straight. Straight here. Just like that, we go over. And now there are no, because we did that, we did not press the button to get in this room. There are no enemies to bug us. And so we go on top of this box and bounce into this out of bounds. And now this out of bounds texture is kind of really forgiving. It's like, I would say like maybe here, that much. So I keep jumping, and I kind of do some safe camera angle thing. I would say that pretty much the textured floor here, ends on this. So could you imagine this and this line? It ends here. So all this is textured, but this is not. So I line up here, and once again, parallel to this wall, facing my back in bounds and looking out of bounds, I start hovering to the right. I get this weird camera angle, but just ignore it. Just keep your hover direction. And now eventually we clip back onto a floor and jump out of it and turn to the right, jump back inbounds on the other side of the wall. Now we are here. Now, the strat used to be to press this button, go in this room, but that kind of turned chaotic maybe with the 2 Zorgons that are in this room. And so avoiding that, I believe the Zorgons only spawn when I press the button, so to avoid that, the new strat was to get on top of this and to bounce out of bounds eventually. Okay, now this is also a kind of a difficult hover spot. So I lock on about there. Oh, lock on about there. I start my hover backwards. The plan, I kind of end up saying it, but the plan was just to go straight backwards from here. But I end up locking onto this, and now I'm locked in a hover that is going straight this way. And then I start hovering to the left to fix it, and then fix my course backwards. Pretty much, I go a bit far, and then I jump out of the hover, and I land here, which is out of bounds, but on a textured floor. This opens a huge shortcut, and a lot less annoying, because they put, I believe, I think 2? 2 or 4? No, I believe 2. 2 of those armored 6-shot turrets in here. And while a ship is shooting at you, and so we're able to land here, it's kind of really precise. You might have to practice this. land here, and then be able to take a shortcut all the way, and this invisible floor is very forgiving. You can take this kind of wide route. So yeah, you don't have to go through here, you can just go here. And no enemy Zorgons as well, big plus. So I shoot one to break a box there. And now this elevator is not functional, but only if you break this lift computer generator thing, it will start working. I believe if you break the right one, it does nothing. Pretty strange design, but yeah. Let's break that one, it starts working. Then I jump here to get a bonus, reach on advantage on the height. I'm able to get up here earlier. And we just keep jumping. Now, coming up is a pretty troll. Oh man, such a troll section here. With this, I'm gonna quote Jabro here. This pretty fucked platform section. And so it can be very annoying because if you fall in the void here, you will respawn. Wait for it. You will respawn right here, right here. So anywhere in the void, pretty much, you respawn here. So bad respawn point. If you fall, thankfully I did not fall here. So pretty much, one thing to remember is that these objects, these ones here, are maybe the safe ones, but these ones with the, I don't know, like the vent, the screw, corkscrew shape maybe, if it's upside down, so like if you're not landing on this flat platform but on this, I wouldn't trust it. I would maybe, like most of the time, just wait for it to rotate onto this platform. But otherwise, I would say trust yourself. Trust yourself, but if it doesn't look safe, then just wait. Because I have gotten greedy here and died. For example, if you look at this, for example, like, they expect you to land on this and then go to this one, I think. This to this is just not happening. You're not making that jump. See, I wait for this to rotate. And yeah, this is much more doable. But like, yeah, it might be cycle based as well for time lost, time gain, but anyways, do this, and then I see this right here. It's about to rotate into the low section. And I'm just like, you know what? I trust it. And I made it. And then here as well, this looks low compared to this, but still doable. And we got past it. So yeah, that can be a very troll section. Sorry, I should mention maybe one more thing. Going into this. So around here, sorry, on this platform, this object, if you were to fall out of bounds, like in around here, so anywhere in this void, you will respawn back onto this object. So that's kind of like a midway checkpoint, and can be good knowledge if you fall. But yeah, anywhere behind this, you will respawn all the way back. Oh, sorry. And then here, just jump to the end and press the button. There can be some funny things where the Zorgon can fall and then freeze on the floor. You might see that later on, hint. But yeah. And you could maybe go either right, left or right side there, it doesn't really matter. That's it. Breaking through, this is kind of a fast level. Now there's a notorious strat here called the bro button. It is because there's this glitch I forgot to mention. That if you press X on a button, while in the furthest range outside the button, like nearly outside of the range, the game, for some reason, might clip you through the wall. So because you're so far out of the range of the button, it'll think that you are on the other side of the button, and then it will do the animation of pushing the button on the other side of the wall. And so you could get a wall clip here, and that it is called the button clip, but doing it specifically here is called the bruh button. It's an inside joke between me and Nacodemics, kind of, and yeah, it's kind of maybe a bit harder here because you're getting shot by lasers as well. It's a bit chaotic. Anyways, I press the button, and then this laser, maybe this laser behind too, counting on them to break. It broke that box. Okay, that back laser broke that box, and there are projectiles in there. And projectiles mean hovers. And so the first out of bounds we need out of bounds in Zathura is this wall. You have this doorway. Pretty much only on breaking through. I don't believe on finding a way these out of bounds work the same. But you can just jump through these doorway walls. Just like so. Just keep jumping. Now here, I would say that the floor texture maybe ends like here. Maybe like here, and it's kind of rounded, this whole section. So yeah, kind of can't see much here. You might get stuck a bit. So I would say, keep a fair distance from inbounds as to not get stuck by invisible walls. But also be safe in order to not fall off. Because we are out of bounds, that means we are skipping respawn checkpoints. Respawn triggers. And so if we were to fall out of bounds, we would respawn at the very beginning start checkpoint. See, I got stuck there. And yeah, just corner back in. Sorry. Bit of an important thing to note. So yeah, I got stuck. But there was an invisible floor, so the texture here, for some reason, ends about here, and then goes like this, maybe this. So there's a section here where you can literally fall off. So be careful. So yeah, you see I turn a bit to the left, and then do that. Just being a bit safe. And then, once again, same thing. Inbounds and back out. Now here, we go back inbounds here. Because eventually here the floor becomes non-textured. So I break this box in hopes to get more projectiles, but I did not. And so I break that box. One of the reasons why I broke the box previously, you can see that this turret broke that box trying to shoot at me. Could have maybe picked up those projectiles, but I did not. I broke this one because sometimes you can throw projectiles at these boxes to break them. We want to break them because we want to hover across here, across to there, and maybe we could hover with these boxes still existing, not broken, but we would be locking onto them and that would be messy. So I have 3 projectiles, and so throwing projectiles to break these might waste them, and if I use projectiles to break these, and then I don't have any left to hover with, that might be a bit sad. So yeah, maybe it's just a lack of judgment for me trying to break that previous box behind me, but that seemed to break in one shot, and it gave me projectiles, so yeah, I'm safe. It all worked out. So I hover across here, hover across there. These are kind of some tight hovers, but yeah, we made it. And now here. Normally, if you go straight in here, or if you take like a straight route to the generator computer right here. There are many Zorgons that spawn down onto you, like on here, on even on the elevator floor sometimes. Here, maybe like 3 or so, maybe. And yeah, used to be very annoying because you would maybe have to get like lucky with the projectile drops or projectile hoarding maybe to defeat them all. Until I realized that you can literally go around the trigger by doing that. Yes, they don't spawn because I did that detour. And now I break that, and elevator, and that's it. So yeah, that was kind of huge, that discovery, because it made it a lot less annoying. Okay, break that generator to activate this elevator. And now break these boxes to get that turret. And hover. Hover again, and that is the end of breaking through. And surprise, surprise. Another auto-scroller. And I'm just going to show something at the beginning here. I do this this boost, cancel the boost, and then jump. Get this early cycle the elevator. Of course, there is nothing to accelerate the auto-scroller. That is known so far. But I go here, kind of jump and clip through this glass, kind of, over the glass, and on this platform. And this is kind of like a safe spot where I've never had any of the Zorgon enemies get on here and knock me off or anything. So it's kind of like a safe spot where you can just put down the controller and wait for a bit. Now, I just want to remind you, be careful here, because if you fall into this void here, maybe here, or on the other side too, or if you are somehow defeated in this auto-scroller, or in any other auto-scroller, the countdown timer for the auto-scroller will reset, and you have to wait the whole time over again. So just be safe. Do not, do not die, please. Okay, let's skip this. Oh, sorry, yeah, this one is a bit longer. It's about like 3.5 minutes. So yeah. And then right after is a cutscene. And next is the Dead Planet. I would say not really much happens here. You just keep jumping. With Danny, it's kind of like a movement heavy level. Lines heavy. So I would say break this crystal for sure, because often it will give you this red projectile, which is one of the best in the game. And can help with some stuff here. So these crystals here, you shoot one and it actually hits both. So kind of nice. You could get through that without getting hit. But yeah, coming up, these like beetles things, pretty annoying enemies because they hit you, but they do like no damage and they can be defeated instantly. But they just stun you. Here, this route, I kind of messed up there, but pretty much you want to... Sorry, I'll just go back. You would want to like go here, around here, and then just keep... There's a section where you can jump here, and then you can grab up there. See, I get it right here. I jump, and then I grab that. And then here you can get this ledge grab skip and just jump down. There's no fall damage. No fall animation, rather, either with Danny, I don't think. And here, my health kind of, it's getting a bit scary, so I'm looking for some health pickups, maybe. Sorry, I'm going to go back because there is a potential strat here I'll mention. Yeah, I'm breaking crystals to look for health. There is an out-of-bounds strat here. It involves grabbing on this ledge, but it takes a bit of setup, and I'm really not sure if it's faster. I might time it eventually, but, you know. You can avoid this ledge grab by just taking a precise line and going in between here. And then broke that, there was still nothing in it. Broke this crystal, and thankfully I did get health. Now this climb section, there are actually some strats you can do here to save time. You can actually jump from like here and grab this, believe it or not. I didn't do that. And you can jump from here and grab this one up here. So like, you can do this. Pretty cool strats. But I mess up here somehow and fall all the way down. Oh well. Oh, there I showed it off. Okay, and then this last one, I would say go for this skip every time, where you can get that ledge grab. Okay, now this long trail, long hallway. My goodness, can this be troll as well? And I believe I do get trolled here as well by the pterodactyls. I've gotten trolled much worse in the past, but holy moly. So you'll see these worms, you want to keep jumping across here to keep going fast and avoid getting hit by these worms, because it would be a one-hit KO. One-hit death. See how close that pterodactyl was? They can hit you and they can deal damage to you. For the longest time, I believe I didn't even know they could, but then I got hit. So I got hit there. And thankfully it didn't hit me off, which can be one of the worst. They can hit you off and you'll respawn at the beginning of the hallway. Huge time loss. But I got hit and then I had to readjust. It messes up the cycle for the worms. I got hit again, look at my health. Scary here. And then waited for that one, almost got hit again. So yeah, they can be pretty troll, I'd say. Just be careful there. Might be based on a cycle. Like, how you get there might be, how trolly may be. Alright, so now this is a chase section. You don't really even have to memorize the spikes route here. I honestly couldn't tell you what it is. But pretty much I see them coming up and then I react to just, you know, go around, try and take straight lines still, and, you know, whatever. I believe that's the last one, yeah. So yeah, I lost around 20 seconds to gold. Not good. Search and rescue. There's a pretty cool grab you can get there. I actually went for it. If you jump immediately off of this rock, you can actually grab this one. And so I broke this crystal to hope for projectiles. Did not get any, sadly. So then I broke this one. I did get some. And then, of course, we get projectiles to hover and to break the obstacles in our way, like this one. And it did not give me any extra projectiles. Neither did that one. So here I'm like, oh shoot, should I even break this one? What if it doesn't give me any projectiles either? Then I'll have 0. But it did, and I'm thankful. So, yeah, we just do some jumps here, and then forward hover. Can avoid getting hit by these aliens. Okay, so this section, the camera kind of like abruptly changes, and eventually your movement will be messed up. And so I kind of do this. You might have to learn this, like get a feel for it, but I do switch my controls from holding forward to holding down for the movement here. And then I kind of like readjust when the camera rotates. Kind of a weird camera rotating section, and it fixes there. But yeah, you can get it. And now this, sorry, these 3 ledges in a row, you can avoid ledge grabs for all of them. So 1, 2, 3, no ledge grabs, and hover. Awesome. These lizard friends, they don't really do much, but they're just your friends. The gecko, shooting these crystals, and these are quicksand sections. So you just want to keep jumping. Although, since you are already jumping throughout these, and jumping speed is slow, you might as well get one big jump as opposed to jumping and then the quicksand kind of like making you hesitate a bit. And so you can go for these bounces here. So there's a bit of an elevation, then you dip in. I got that first one, and then the second one, you can see it again, but I missed it. And yeah. Oh well. Just keep jumping. Now avoid this guy's shot. That one. Now these worms coming up. These are also the one-hit KO worms. Sometimes you can get it so that you can be ahead of this guy. But here I did not, I just waited. The second guy shows up here. Pretty much like here I didn't see him. I didn't see it, so I was like, okay, I'm safe, I'll just keep going. And now here, I was kind of wary, and I saw it, and I was like, I'll wait. Yeah, and then sorry, this final one coming up, I almost always wait because it's right there. And yeah, so now we're safe after those 3. Get this door, and I would say pretty good search and rescue. Some mistakes, but it's like 1.8 off my gold, which is kind of funny. My gold must be bad there. Okay, Stone Goddess, boss. This boss fight. Okay, so there are 4 different, 5 different sections, similar to the Mr. Meltdown boss. So of course these orbs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the head. So the Stone Goddess will start by spawning 2 crabs on either side. Just defeat them. I would recommend pressing B as opposed to Y. And yeah, get projectiles. We have 27. Now, there is a... there is a kind of advanced strat here that I do to fire these projectiles fast. And what you have to do is move in a direction, either left or right or left, and not fully to the right or fully to the left, but also not perfectly halfway. It's like somewhere in between, like not really, really slow, but a little bit of movement. And there's kind of like a sweet spot where you'll just start firing them off super fast. And yeah, of course, the faster you shoot them, the faster the orb will be destroyed. And speed. As you can see, Walter, you can just see eventually the rate. So there, you can see I started out kind of messing it up, but then I got the hang of it. And now, the stone goddess, she shoots orbs from you from the head. And so I start out by just rebounding them. Actually, when I first started speedrunning, I did not know you could even hit them back. And these are very efficient, hitting them back. And so I thought you had to defeat her only by shooting projectiles at her. And the only way to get that strat to work would be to like hoard like 50 projectiles at the start by just defeating the crabs and then respawning over and over. Anyways, do this. She will go into the next phase after 3 of the rebounds. And you have to defeat the crabs again. But coming up next, because I have more projectiles, I can show off a faster strat that I do when she goes into the orb firing stage. See, here kind of got it slow, but I did manage to break it. So I actually start the fast projectile shooting at her head. And this is actually a fast strat that I realized. So I do this enough times until she starts shooting the orbs. I missed the first one. But you can see it only took 2. So if you can do the projectiles fast enough, it will only take 2 rebounds as opposed to 3. And I believe that is faster. It is maybe a bit difficult, but yeah, it is faster. And so, yeah. Sorry, one thing to remember is that because I believe that the the arms, any which 4 of them can happen at any time, and they're all different attacks. But one of them is these see these pillars here, these ball things. Those actually are this green one, and it activates these lasers that shoot and that move across. And so you kind of want to be looking out for that, because if it were to activate this orb, those lasers would come on, and so you want to be kind of in between a safe spot in those lasers so that you don't get hit. So yeah, just look out for that. But I got this one instead. And yeah, pretty much if you do it fast enough, you'll know that you're gonna hit fast. Here, got a bunch of shots, and then 2 rebounds. That was clean. That was a clean cycle. So now this final one. Defeat the crabs once more. And the lasers, you'll see them here. Oh no, those were before. I'm sorry. Lasers were before I messed up. Oh, I got some slow projectiles. Anyways, this is the final hit, and we win. I lost a bit of time on gold. Oh well. Okay, so one more cutscene, and now Battle in the Stars. This used to be like the make or break of the run, like the real time section. But actually, with reprogrammed that hover that I showed a while before, this became the second longest hover in the game. So yeah, and once again using the robot. So at the start here, sorry, I'm just first going to explain this level. What you're meant to do normally is you're meant to travel across all these asteroids, and pretty much you can see here along a big huge circle, and then back you land on this kind of like tire or C-shaped asteroid. That usually like takes maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and here we do it in like 1 minute. a minute and a half. And so here I'm like tapping RT, trying to get a boost, and I finally get it here. So I boost, and then once you get one boost, you can kind of chain them again in the air. So I got another one, and I stop there. This mothership looks very interesting. So we are going to jump onto the wing here. Go here, and actually my setup, my lineup here was not really the best. But you can probably guess what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to hover. We're going to hover, and this is, yeah, this is kind of notorious to, like, if you drop the hover here, then like your run's over, you know? You restart at the very beginning here. So it can be heartbreaking if you drop the hover here. But I already, even without seeing anything, any texture in the background of the C-shaped, sorry, asteroid, I already start fixing my course of the hover, and I guess I guessed right. Because I see it in view here, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so far to the left. And so I should have lined up much more so that my line would go here instead of going here. So literally I was like this much, oh man. And now the pain of hovering to the left and hopefully not dropping it at all during this like dead time, and it's like, oh my god. Please don't drop, please don't drop. And I made it. And once you land on here, and you see this this goofy ship pop up, the goofy mothership, pretty much you can just wait, and wait for the level to end and trigger. Yep. This cutscene will play, and that's Battle in the Stars. Zorgon Mothership, one of the most open levels in the game. Press start there to close that box, and literally nothing happens. You just walk to the end. So these Zorgons, they may seem menacing, intimidating, but it's hard to get hit by them if you're running straight. Sorry. So yeah, also these goats, you can ignore them. So yeah, pretty much you can just run into them, and then as soon as you touch them, as soon as they're about to attack, you turn a bit and then fix your course. You can like ignore them pretty much. This guy might see you. You're fine. And then you want to get just straight lines here. It's kind of like a Zen moment where you can relax. Sorry, I'm going to go back there because that was a bit important. This laser will never hit you. There are some lasers in the game that just do not work. You can see. So I'm going to prove that literally I was going through it right here. So yeah, you can like practice your lines, try and get straight. I mean, just look at these dodges. It's like the enemies don't even exist. So now I've got this elevator. You can buffer movement straight there, and then I do this this movement this route where I go here and then hug the wall on the edge. Then to go through the door, I just go here and then back. So yeah, free level. I think I actually got a gold here, which is kind of surprising. Maybe it's like a split issue, timing issue. Hope you enjoy the SSX3 sound effects. So here, don't think I've ever avoided getting hit by that. thing there while running. So this is the level where you want to get a lot of projectiles, a ton, as many as you can. Of course, while not losing too much time. And then I broke this one. I broke that one. I was like, holy moly. That RNG, that many projectiles is amazing. Literally felt like Travis Scott. I was like, give me the loot. I'm so sorry. Okay, so yeah, even that one a lot. And then even more. So I saw this, I was like, 12, I'm set. Sometimes if you feel like you didn't get too much or something, you could break this one, maybe get some more projectiles. And sorry, I believe there was even another safety here. Yeah, sorry, there are ones here, but these three could be some safety ones if you don't get much. So yeah, I don't think, like, truly, I don't think RNG can be so bad where you literally won't get enough projectiles to do this route. But anyways, this route. So we ignored that Zorgon. We shoot projectiles to defeat this one, 4 to defeat this laser. Then we grab this rope, turn twice, and jump off. Now break these. I would have liked to break both in one hit, but oh well. Just making even more sure that we're completely safe with the projectiles. So now we shoot a bunch and defeat these lasers. Turrets. We hover across to that corner. I would say that this is kind of a tight hover. This one. So I think sometimes I've even like jumped out of it to just be safe. But yeah, you can see we clipped up. Now, the monkey bars. It's actually not the first appearance of monkey bars in the game. Maybe like the 3rd or something? Yeah, maybe. But sorry, this is the only time where we actually use them. So you can see this Zorgon saw us. Its AI saw Walter, and it started charging towards us. And in doing that, it fell into this hole. And so that's actually what we want to happen. So I'm actually gonna just hang on this monkey bar until this one sees us and it walks off. And it's safe to jump. So pretty much we do that so that also, yeah, doing the hover route that we did to get here, this turret does not work. And there would be a bunch of lasers in here that are also not active. But sorry, leading those 2 Zorgons into the void, into that hole, means that they won't follow us through this tunnel in this extremely slow elevator. It could be like a really troll moment. It has happened before where like I've had it so that the Zorgons like didn't, or like there was maybe one Zorgon that didn't fall in the hole or something. It followed me out to here, and then it lunged at me and just, I wasn't even looking or something. It pushed me off the edge. Oh my god, so troll. And then if you fall off here, it will respawn you at where the where the turret was, just here, and but the lasers in here will be functional. That is kind of annoying. You can see where they are. But now I hover here, yeah. Defeat these 2 lasers. Sorry, turrets. And then if you can ignore, this this Zorgon, that'd be very favorable. Not to waste any more projectiles. He may have fallen off there, I don't know, because I didn't see much of him later. But yeah, pretty much I defeat those, and the reason why I defeated those turrets, 2 turrets behind me, was that when I lock on these turrets, it won't mess up and try and lock on the ones behind me. And so I jump here. There are kind of some like strats here you can learn, but you kind of just get a hang of it, get a feel of it. And also doing this hover, you won't hover, or sorry, you won't lock onto the turrets behind you. So that's also why. Hover across, because monkey bars are slow. Now, you can see all these boxes here. Sorry, all these, I don't know, all these barrels maybe, all these wheelbarrows with garbage. Very tempting to break, but if you walk in here, I believe 2 Zorgons will spawn. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so, I don't know, if you don't have any projectiles up to here, like if you run out, because ideally you would want quite a bit, or at least some, you could break these boxes to get some, but unless the projectiles don't like, bounce over here, if you walk into here, it'll just trigger the Zorgons, and then, yeah, you would have to use the projectiles to defeat the Zorgons, and then you'd just be like empty again, and it would suck. So instead, sorry, I'm going to explain here. Sorry. This right here, this platform right here, is an elevator, or magic carpet, sorry, elevator, escalator, that is meant, it is extremely slow, like the one from before in that tunnel, laser tunnel, meant to bring you all the way across to here. Very slow. And pretty much on the way, on that escalator, this laser will see you, I believe, and then start shooting at you. Super annoying. So what do you think we're gonna do? As Walter is like stuck there for a second. Yes, we're gonna hover all the way across. Now this seems really tight. Like it seems like we have no height, right? And it is very tight. So pretty much here I take a bit of time to set it up, and I would say understandably. So because, yeah, you just want to make sure you get this right, because if you fall, it's like time loss, ton of time loss. Honestly, started doing this not too long ago, and it's pretty hard. Anyways, hover, you lock onto this eventually. If you lock onto the Zorgon, it can be painful, because the Zorgon might move, and then it might deviate your hover a bit. But thankfully, like, locked onto this laser, so. And then, yeah, you could maybe, like, if you're a bit low, if you have some hover drops in the hover, you could jump out of it. But, yeah, clipped up. That was an awesome hover, I'd say. And I have enough projectiles to defeat those 2 enemies, and so I don't lock onto them when I do this hover. Jump out of this one, just avoid. And I would say that was a pretty good lure. Plus 10. Goal is maybe insane. Okay, one last chance. Now you have one last chance to click out of this video before I literally lose my voice from talking. Just kidding. Okay, so these turrets. Defeat them with 4 shots each. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this button will become pressable. That is a gimmick in this level that shows up a lot, where you need to defeat a certain number or a certain set of enemies before the button is pressable. Okay, so you press the button, Now there's this laser at the bottom. I crouch waiting for it, and then roll. Kind of timed that, actually. 2, 3, 4, defeat that one, and then I break these 2 boxes. Kind of important, and you'll see why. So, okay, sorry, I'm trying to think of how I'll explain this strat coming up. Okay, so this, I'm just gonna go back a little bit. So this conveyor, there's a conveyor here. So in the story, this might be kind of important to mention. In the story, these Orgons have taken the game board Zathura, and Danny and Walter and the astronaut need to get the game board back, and so that they can finish the game and then end all of the crazy happenings that are arising from the game. The game board is supposedly on this conveyor belt, and so it is about to be incinerated at the very end of the conveyor. We are not going to go on the conveyor. I am going up here. And now, once again, parallel to here, facing straight, facing against this wall. And this, if you thought any of the other hovers in the game, in this run, were important, this is the most important hover of your life at this point. And this is why we broke these 2 objects here, so that when we're locking on, we don't lock onto those, because yes, they may be in range. I try and line up straight. I do one more adjustment, and I settle on this. And now, literally, you put everything into this hover to try and make sure you get as few drops as possible, as little height drops as possible. Hovering straight. And I will explain why this is so important coming up in a second. So yeah, backwards. You could do this left or right, I guess, but oh well, I've always done it backwards. And oh my, just barely clipped up right here. Right here. And so what we skipped is like this whole thing going here, 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 and then here. We went straight from there to there. And not only did we do that, we skipped something else, which I will explain coming up. Got that weird damage there. It didn't take any health, but yeah. Kind of sometimes wait for these the crushers to come down. Okay, so yeah, coming up here is another cool skip. These are squishers. So we wait for this one to extend, and then we want to walk in between this, get up here, and then jump, and now we're on top of it. And so from here we're going to hover backwards, hopefully, or sorry, you'd want to line up kind of diagonal. You can see, so this is like this. There's this corner, so like diagonal. And yeah, we do just that. See this line? Kind of straight there. And eventually, kind of fixed it a bit. Oh well. But I land on this platform. And now, you'll see, I do this weird movement where I walk a bit here, and then I leave. So now here comes my explanation as to why it was so important to make that hover landing on here. Now, you could totally do that hover, that huge backwards hover from there all the way down to the conveyor, and miss the conveyor, go under the conveyor and get a respawn trigger that would respawn you right there, right where we landed. But what that would do is it would activate the conveyor loading zone. Now what that means is that the Sorry. I'll just go back to explain what I mean. Go back to all the way to here. Oh man. So sorry, this laser is in the way. If we went straight here, the intended way onto the conveyor, a dialog box would pop up saying that, oh, the game board is on the conveyor, it's about to be incinerated. You have to go find it and save it. And the Zathura game board would literally, an object of it would spawn in, like towards the end of the conveyor, and you had to be fast enough to, catch it, pick it up, and literally you have to pick up the Zathura game board object, or else it will literally be incinerated. They will play a cutscene of it getting burned, and then you will have to restart from the beginning here. But yeah. Instead, if you do that massive giant hover all the way to there, that trigger of the game board being spawning in will not ever occur. And so that is why landing on here is so important. So we never respawn, thus we never load it in. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead a bit. And so all we have to do instead is to walk a bit here, about maybe right here or so. I go back, and now you can see these turrets are loaded in, and it thinks that we have completed the conveyor section, and now we're here. Okay, so now we're here. Sorry, I got a hit there. Didn't avoid it. So yeah, defeat these with 4 shots. Pretty much, you can see this button here is not pushable, not active. I break these ones to get ice shots. Quite a bit, of course. Oh well. And with ice shots, these only take 2. So yeah, after you defeat those 2 turrets and those 3, I believe 3, this button becomes active. I believe you don't have to defeat the Zorgon. Yeah, I believe it's already pushable. But yeah, the Zorgon's in the way, so why not? Now we can use this button. Here's another example. This laser just will not damage you. Yeah. But the bottom one will. I jump over it. 1, 2, and then 1, 2. I have enough of the ice to defeat that one, I saw, so... Also, sorry, also, oh well. Show this. So, I shoot at the Zorgon on the ice, and leading into... You can break him with the normal shot. Leading into these barrels, these garbage barrels, because they both have this red projectile in them. They will always have that in them. So defeat that Zorgon, needed 1 more shot. And it was around here that I realized kind of my health was not really the best, a bit lower than half. And so I was kind of, being wary. I saw that there was health that dropped here, I believe, but I I only saw it in the corner of my eye. I wasn't sure if it was like the projectile or health. And I was kind of feeling safe, I guess. I was kind of feeling safe, so I just kept going. Now this room coming up. Oh yeah, sorry, that previous room. Defeating those 2 Zorgons is required to make the button pushable, as you saw. This room, kind of chaotic, a bunch of enemies, but you can literally just avoid everything by going this left side or the right side. I go in the left side, though, because the elevator is right here. So yeah, kind of just maybe hold a bit into the wall, but still straight. And then I got hit once by the turret. Break that, I guess. Press the button. Now this elevator, it'll like instantly, spawn you at the top after a certain amount of time. And so you can't really react to it. It's kind of strange, but yeah, I would say try and go back to movement as soon as you can. Just like that. See, I took a bit of time. So it was around here where I had the decision to maybe go up here, break these to try and get health, but I did not. Then I tried to jump over this laser and I got hit. I would say very unfortunate, because so many times I've avoided getting hit on this laser just by jumping over and like cornering around. I got hit and it was like, oh my god, look at my health. And then defeat this, break this, and I got hit by the Zorgon. Can you believe it? Look at my health. And pretty much here I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way I can survive, right? I don't think. And then here, miraculously, I saw this health right here, and it was actually from a turret shooting one of these objects that broke, and then health came out of it. It's kind of rare, I think, maybe rare. And so I was considering it, and yep, I went for it. Didn't get hit somehow. This is still really dangerous health for this upcoming room, which is, I like to call the lag room right here, because of just all the crap. Like I think maybe 3 turrets they put in here, constantly shooting at you. And so I started firing ice here, and I was like, what? How did it not break? And I passed away, so shame. Pretty rare death there. But yeah. Then defeat the turrets. Of course, it is required to defeat the turrets. Unless I find like an out of bounds or something. And push the button. Get some more. And now this final room before the final boss. And you can see, remember what I said about in Finding a Way, where the Zorgon can be frozen sometimes. That's exactly what happens here with this Zorgon. Literally frozen until I shoot it. It starts moving. So this room, in order to make the button pressable, you have to defeat 4 Zorgons. So there's number 1, number 2, number 3 is here, and number 4. Yeah, kind of cool step back there. Anyways, push the button, and yeah, I lost a lot of time. Kind of a bad segment. It's like plus 30, 33 maybe. Oh man. Okay, enter the Overlord. You start with Danny, and the strat here used to be just like wait a certain amount of time until it spawns you with the robot. But there was actually a strat developed where the Overlord, I guess, this guy, the Zorgon Overlord, can push you through the wall, and then you can fall in the void. Once you respawn, you will instantly be with the robot. You can skip the cutscene and the waiting time. So he did that. Yeah, so sorry, maybe I should explain. Sorry, maybe I should explain the setup for the out of bounds here. So this out of bounds, you want to be up next to the wall, but you don't want to be hugging it. You want to be kind of like what I'm doing here. So not even running straight in a straight line here, but maybe a bit to the left, like this maybe. And that is because when the Overlord hits you, you want to be in this state where you're like halfway in the wall like this, and you're in this like falling animation, but floating. But what I got here is this outcome where it just ejects me onto the floor, and pretty much from here I can't really do much. I tried to walk out of bounds. So instead I go back, try again, Overlord hits me, and this time it does work. I go in between these walls, and then get up, and eventually I'm able to walk out into the void. If you do hug the wall, sorry, I'll go back just once more. Sorry, if you are like not here, but completely hugging this wall here, hugging this door, these Orgon can stomp you, and then you can clip through into this room, and then pretty much in this room you can't really get out, and so you just have to wait. That is something that can happen, but oh well. So yeah, second time, I guess it was fine. Could have been faster, but oh well. And then fall into the void, and we instantly respawn as the robot. Now, the strategies for... Sorry, the general strategy for fighting the Overlord with the robot. If you get the respawn glitch, you want to be spamming B for this tongue grab. That's good. And for offense against the Overlord, I generally find, like I realized this a while ago, that if you are running straight into the robot, but slightly at an up left angle, like straight into him, but like up left kind of, and to the point where you're kind of like almost circling around him slowly. You'll see that here. See what I'm doing? Circling around him while still pressing B. That pretty much makes it so his tail whip attack will almost never hit you. And I've had a lot of success with that strategy. Of course, the tail whip attack, if it hits you, can be very annoying. A bit of time loss because it knocks you back, and then a lot of time to spend getting up. So yeah, we do this. And then that was pretty fast. You'll see, so when he jumps up straight up like that, oftentimes he will land back right here, and then you can set up the first charge. And so I hold LT when he lands, and then start charging with RT, and hit him straight into the glass. Now you have to do that 3 times in order to defeat the boss. Now this is another important thing to look out for. These glass shards that you can see, I look out for these whenever I do the first break. These glass pieces, all these, and also this glass breaking texture. If you see that on the first break, you're pretty much, like, you're good. You don't have to worry. Sorry. I have had it very, very, very rarely, but I believe this even happened on a NASA run, the NASA run, where I charged him into the glass, and there were not these shards, or this glass wasn't breaking or something, and it was kind of a soft lock, and so I had to restart the level. And so I still don't really understand how that happens, but yeah, look out for that. So yeah, we can keep hitting him as he's even stuck there. I got hit by the tail whip once there. And then I was like, this is not happening again. So I'm doing my tilted circling around offense. And then I see he jumps there. So then I boost back to the middle. And start that. There's the second one. You can see some glass shards. And now looking for the third one, I'm like, oh my goodness. Please don't get tail whipped. And I don't. And there's the final jump. And timing ends when you boost him into the glass of the final time, and he disappears off screen. Right there, that's time. Holy moly. And oh, look, he's still there. Robot's still there. They forgot to take that out of the cutscene. still there, the robot. Oh my god. Oh, he's also right here. Cool. So yeah, now in the story, they finish the game eventually, but not without people like going flying and stuff. It's kind of a funny animation you'll see. Actually, the real voice actors were used in this game. Jonah Bowo, Josh Hutchinson, Dax Shepard, and yeah. Sadly, Kristen Stewart was not even in the story. Not even sure how that even would play out. But yeah, kind of funny. Sorry, I'm just gonna advance. Oh, did I skip it? Danny hitting the whoa. Sorry. Are we gonna see the robot floating into the black hole? Oh, there he goes, dude. Oh my god.